What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for the third predicted lineup of the season. Second game at home this season as well. It's Tottenham against Bournemouth. And very much looking forward to this one. We could be having an announcement right live on the pitch, or not an announcement, but a welcome to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for Xavi Simon's announcement to come a bit later today, apparently. And in terms of the team news, what have we got?
Yeah, so more positive news coming out of Tottenham today. Destiny Udogie is back and available in the squad, Frank confirmed. So that's really great news after his injury, missing most of pre-season. He also confirmed Radu Dragusin is 7 to 10 days away from returning to first team training. That's also really positive, you know, given he had an ACL last season and we're wondering how long it would take for him to get back to full fitness. So great news that basically after international break he's going to be back in first team training. But Maddison, Kulusevski and Bissouma still remain out. He's saying on Bissouma, doesn't think it's long term, but he's going to be out this weekend and does want to put a time frame on it. Read into that what you will.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I mean, in terms of Yves Bissouma, I'm sure they're looking for deals to get him out, but even if they don't get him out by the deadline, other windows still stay open after that deadline, so the Turkey window and the Saudi window as well. So even if he's not gone by the end of this current English transfer window, there's still opportunities with obviously the links to Fenerbahce or Galatasaray that we did see. But look, let's get into the predicted lineup, and I think, yeah, there's quite a few selection headaches because just judging on what he's done so far, because of the Burnley game, he played a very much different midfield than he did against Manchester City. It'll be interesting to see which way he goes with it in this game. But obviously, we're going to go for a 4-2-3-1. And in goal, we're obviously going to go for the big man, Vicario.
Yeah, no doubt about it. For Bournemouth have been quite good so far this season, and transition, counter-attacks, I think Vicario is going to have to be a bit higher starting position than he has been in some of the other games in this one to try and stop those Bournemouth passes over the top. But yeah, I think Vicario, look, to be fair, I'm going to give him credit because I gave him a lot of criticism in pre-season. I was saying Kinski could start the season, but you know what? I've seen improvements. I'm seeing a calmer Vicario, someone who's looking a lot more comfortable with the ball at his feet as well than he was. And he still, you know, does that shot stopping against Man City that we all know he's capable of. So big up to Vicario. Good start to the season.
Look, I had no doubt in my mind that the guy was going to start the season. He's our number one, most experienced keeper. And we'll see how it progresses throughout the season between him and Kinski. But yeah, there was no doubt in my mind Vicario was going to be the one starting the season. Let's move on to the back four. Let's start off with right back. And that's a pretty simple one. Pedro Porro comes straight back in.
Yep, obviously there is talk at the moment of Tottenham signing potentially a defender, so hopefully we'll get some help for him because at the moment he just plays every game. But he's also had a phenomenal start to the season defensively and going forward, looking at his best at the moment, Pedro Porro. So yeah, he's definitely starting a right back, but probably up against, I don't know if it's going to be Semenyo, or it's going to be maybe Tavernier on that side. Either way, he's going to have his work cut out for him a bit, I feel. Yeah,
absolutely. And look, we've seen so far this season the sheer work rate Kudus has done on that side to help out Pedro Porro, and I expect it's going to be very similar going into this one. But moving on to the other players in the back four, right centre-back is obviously going to be El Capitano Cuti Romero.
Yeah, and up against Evan Nilsson, who's a defender who doesn't give you a moment's rest, constantly presses you.
Going to be some battle.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle. Romero is going to have to watch him very carefully. And we also know it's a bit of a mix. Romero likes to put his foot on the ball, and Evan Nilsson likes to press relentlessly and not give him a moment's rest. So I think Romero's going to like it because I think actually Romero doesn't like it when people stand off him. I think he actually likes the engagement so that he can quickly pass around the player if he's being pressed. But he's going to have to watch himself because we've seen Romero sometimes get caught on the ball if he's not careful. Yeah. So he's got to be careful in this one.
Yes, that's Pedro Porro and Romero for the right side. For the left side, left centre-back will obviously be Mickey van der Ven, who's been bloody brilliant so far.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing a bit of an evolution in Van der Ven, only because he's obviously not playing as high, he's having a bit more protection. So we're seeing less of those classic Van der Ven recovery runs and covering lots of space, and more of him box defending and defending as a unit kind of thing. And I think it's improving him, and I think he's becoming a better defender, and I'm liking what I'm seeing with Mickey.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the back 3 out of 4. At left back, I do suspect Jed Spence to come straight back in. Obviously, just been called up to the England squad, so congratulations to him. Doggy is back, but I suspect the Doggy might get about 20 minutes at the end or something like that, but Jed will start.
Yeah, I think Jed's our number 1 left back at the moment. He's playing very well. Just like Richarlison up front, he's got the spot with his performances, and it's going to be up to a Doggy to win it back. I know last season, Ange did put a Doggy straight back in when he got fit. Well, in the big games anyway, against in Europa League. So I don't think that's going to happen here. I think Spence has got that spot, and I think, it's a great reward for him as well, being in that England squad. Unbelievable achievement considering where he was a year ago. It's incredible how quickly his rise has been, and I think Frank's going to want to celebrate that on top of him earning his spot anyway. So I've got no doubt Spence will be starting this game. Yeah,
so that's Vicario, Porro right back, Romero van der Ven in the centre-back positions with Jed Spence at left back. Now we move on to the midfield, which is going to be interesting because there was no João Palhinha against Burnley. He played brilliantly against Manchester City. Is he going to put him straight back in this game against Bournemouth? I mean, Bournemouth are a very strong attacking team, unlike Burnley, so I suspect João Palhinha probably will start.
100%. I think there's no doubt in my mind he starts. I think we need him in this game, actually. They're a very physical team, Burnley. Very high pressing team. They ask a lot of questions of you in the middle of the park. They're going to probably play Adams, Scott. I'm not sure who else they're going to play. What's his name? I don't know if Christie. I don't know if he's still available or fit. But the way Bournemouth play, you need to have a very strong central midfield because you need to be making sure that they're not getting an advantage there to overload you. So I think Palhinha is going to be crucial in this game.
Yeah. So alongside Palhinha, a few options. There's Rodrigo Bentancur, Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall. I suspect Pape will be in the 10. So I say Pape in the 10, Palhinha in the 6, and I guess probably Bentancur alongside Palhinha.
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't think he's going to change it because I think Bournemouth are a side who are, again, very physical, very combative, and you've got to make sure you match that energy. And I think the only way to do that is the best way to do it, I should say, is having them at midfield 3. Because they're not going to sit in a low block, but they're going to leave space. But they're going to try and make it a transitional game, and that's going to suit the midfield 3 we had against City.
Yeah, and very hard workers, those Bournemouth midfielders, aren't they? So definitely going to need that strong base. And in the number 10, it will be Pape Matar. Probably what you say is his last game in the 10 for a little bit, with Javi Simons coming in.
Yeah, probably, to be honest. And he's done great. And fair play to him. I think he's taken to that role extremely well under the circumstances, playing there out of necessity. And I think he's probably done what Frank's asked him to do to a T. Brilliant work rate, unbelievable pressing. And also he's been quality. He's been kind of, it's weird. I feel like on the ball, he's kind of playing it in a bit like and I know it's going to be a very weird comparison, but it's like when Fellaini or Souček played that role. It's like we're playing a lot of long balls into him. He's getting flick-ons. He's kind of asked to use his physicality to kind of play that role more than picking locks and playing it like a Maddison or something. But he's like playing it like them, but off the ball, he's obviously got unbelievable physical traits like his ability to press and hound defenders, and he's using that is where he's, I think, earning his money most of all in this position, because he's a bit further forward. He can just get closer to defenders, and he's nicking the ball in brilliant positions, and we're getting the advantages off it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, Pape has just been such a star performer for us, and it's not just in the number 10 in terms of his goal mouth action where he's earning his money. He's dropping deep and knitting in for the team as well. He plays as a 10, 6 and an 8 all in the same game, all to such a high level. So I can't sing his praises enough. So that's João Palhinha, Rodrigo Bentancur and Pape Matar in the 3-man midfield. It's going to be very interesting come after the international break when the signings are in to see which midfield he goes for. It's going to be very interesting. But let's move on to the forward line. And on the right-hand side of the attack is definitely going to be Mohamed Kudus.
Yeah, who's been phenomenal so far this season. His start to the Spurs life as Tottenham right winger has been fantastic. Work rate's been brilliant, but he also has been such a creative spark when we desperately need it. Hopefully now with Simons coming in, we're not going to be as reliant on him, but for this game, we're going to need him to step up once again.
Yeah. So Mohamed Kudus on the right. On the left, I suspect it's going to be Brennan Johnson again. 2 games, 2 goals. You can't really leave him out at this moment in time.
I agree, and I actually think this game's going to suit him because Bournemouth are going to leave space. He's going to be up against potentially Adam Smith on that side. He's going to back himself in that duel as well. And if it's a transitional game, that suits Brennan. And we know when he gets a chance, he's likely to put it away. So I think Brennan starts on the left again.
All right, so that just leaves the number 9, a big toss-up between Richarlison and Solanke, and I think it's a no-brainer right now. It's got to be our Brazilian number 9 called up to the Brazilian squad with Carlo Ancelotti, and he's going to be starting again for us in this game. Contributed to 2 goals in the first game. He had his part to play in both the goals that we scored at the Etihad as well. And yeah, he's just playing out of his skin at this moment in time. So big up to Richarlison.
Yeah, and congratulations to him on being called up again to the Brazil squad. Fully deserved. Sounds like, we know Ancelotti's a big fan of his. So if he can keep up the way he's playing, I think Ancelotti's obviously going to take him to the World Cup. But yeah, it's an opportunity for Solanke to play against his old club. But I think Richarlison will get the nod. I think he deserves it. He's been brilliant so far. He's undroppable, really, in the form that he's in. So let's hope he can go into the international break in the same form he's been playing so far this season.
Yeah, so that lineup that we are predicting for the Bournemouth game is, as you can see on screen, Vicario in goal, Pedro Porro right back, Jed Spence left back, Cuti Romero and Mickey van der Ven in the back 2 with João Palhinha and Bentancur sitting with Pape Matar in the 10, Kudus on the right, Johnson on the left and Richarlison up top. Score predictions.
I'm going 2-1 Spurs. I think it's going to be difficult. Bournemouth are a tough physical team and it's going to be quite transitional, but I think we're just going to have enough to keep them at bay when we need to and score and find moments of quality when we need to. So I've gone for 2-1 Tottenham.
Yeah, I think this stadium's going to be buzzing tomorrow, to be honest. I think with the the welcome for Xavi Simons, I think there's going to be a bit of a buzz around the stadium tomorrow. I think the atmosphere is going to be good. I think it's going to be a bit of a cauldron for Bournemouth. I think they will play well. I think they're going to make it hard for us. I said 2-1 in my Predict the Prem, but I'm actually going to bump it up after the news on Xavi Simons with a bit of positivity around the stadium. I'm going to go for 3-1 to Tottenham Hotspur. But that is our predicted lineup. Let us know your predictions in the comment section below. Let us know your scoreline prediction in the comment section below as well. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always,
come on you Spurs.